The Black Ops 4 beta is finally upon us. After all the months with no information about the game and all the controversy about the Black Ops Pass, we can now finally create a realistic judgment on how the game actually is. What's going on, guys? It is JSnake here, and today, guys, I'm coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm just going to be giving my opinion and my review on the Black Ops 4 beta. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you'll be notified every single time I do upload a new video. But with that being said, guys, let's get into this video. Surprise, surprise, the beta did come out a day before expected. This is kind of typical. We've seen this before with Black Ops 3 and World War II extensions, and even just releasing the beta earlier. So I kind of expected it, and I'm sure a lot of people did. There was tons of videos on YouTube, I'm sure you guys saw them, about people saying how we might get the beta as early as a day before. Unfortunately for me, I was one of the people that got the beta probably an hour after it actually launched, because I did have to download it. The beta token whole situation in Fiasco was a pain, and I was so happy that I saw something on Reddit saying you could find your beta token. If you go to callofduty.com/beta, it will tell you your token if you already entered your code from your retailer or whatever. I was very annoyed also that the fact that digital downloads were favored over physical copies, because I always prefer to get the physical copy, and I got it from GameStop. Also get little exclusives as well, so I always prefer to get a physical copy of a game. I just like to have them around. But of course, digital downloads were favored, and they were all given the earliest access possible to the beta. But it's honestly not that big of a deal. I only missed out on an hour. But the thing is, people who do have bad internet, I feel bad, because this was a 30 gigabyte download, bigger than expected. It was expected to be 20, but it was a 30 gigabyte download, and a lot of people don't have the best internet, and even a moderate internet would take like 5 hours to download that. So I do feel bad for a lot of the people that did have to wait until this morning on PS4, but still, the beta didn't officially start till 10 a.m. Pacific time today anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. But I've been playing the beta for quite a bit now, and you're actually seeing gameplay from a little bit earlier on from when I started. Now, right off the bat, when you start the beta up, it's pretty interesting, because the menu that they have, at least, I don't know if this is permanent, if this is going to be the final menu, maybe it's just a placeholder menu, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just very different from what we've seen in past Call of Duties. It's very weird, and on console, you now have a cursor, and this is all over. This is just isn't in the menu. This is in Creative Class, this is in the multiplayer menu. I'm assuming it's going to be in Zombies and Blackout, but there's now a cursor on consoles. It's really interesting. It definitely feels a lot different, especially when you are kind of browsing through stuff on the menu. Really, it's like a skeleton of Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2, the menu. It's kind of what it feels like, except it just has all the meat it has is just different. It's really interesting, and I kind of like it. I don't know. It's not that's something that I don't like, but it's just weird. I'll have to say. I don't really know how to explain it too well. Anyways, so I got into games. I've been playing it for quite a bit now. Probably I have about 10 to 12 hours on the game. And I gotta say, they definitely have made some improvements, and it is better than I thought it would be. That does not mean there are issues with the game, and trust me, there are some issues that I would like to talk about. But in terms of all the good stuff, the first thing I want to point out is the fact that the maps, at least the ones we've seen, I mean, quite frankly, these aren't all of them, so who knows, but we have a decent amount of maps, and the maps play very well. I'm very impressed with the maps. They look nice, first of all. The colors are amazing. This is one of the most beautiful looking Call of Duties we've seen. But the maps, they flow amazing. I love how the layouts are made. I love all of the little flanking points. There are tons of flanking points, like more than you've ever seen, and they just play so well. The maps also aren't necessarily the most camper friendly as well, so I guess that could be bad for some people who aren't campers, but a majority of the people do hate campers. Like, you have to be on the move, is what I'm saying. You can't just stay in one spot. Yes, there's a few little towers and stuff that I guess you could snipe out of for a little bit, but really, you're gonna have to move, because someone can come and flank you so fast. You could probably end up getting like 3 kills before someone's already up there, if that. But regardless, I am just so happy with the maps. I love them. I think they're gonna be very fun to play, and I'm excited to see the other maps and future DLC maps. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the good maps. We're going to start talking about the movement. Movement in this game is very smooth. Smoothest I've ever seen it. It's like Ghosts, which had smooth movement as it is. and then that's like jacked up 10 notches. The movement in this game is perfect. It's exactly what everyone has been wanting for a long time now. It has a slide, and I love having the slide. It feels like Black Ops 3 Zombies just sliding around, man. But it flows very well. I feel like sprinting is balanced very well. I feel like it's not too fast, but it's also not too slow. I feel like it's just perfect. Reloading is very smooth along with sprinting. Obviously, it's pretty much the same in every Call of Duty, but I don't know, it just feels very good in this one. One key thing, I think, especially if you want to become at least a good pub stomper in this game, you're going to want to master the slide. The slide is so effective in this game if you know how to use it correctly. I mean, I've gotten triple kills so many times using the slide. It's just hard to track someone sliding. It's not the easiest thing, but it's easy when you're sliding to actually shoot at people. It's very effective, and if you want to become a good pub stomper, I recommend you master the slide. Vaulting over objects is very smooth as well. You don't lose momentum. You don't slow down really. I like that a lot, and I also like that you can climb stuff now. That's also very nice, and you still, even when climbing, you don't lose that much momentum. The game's very fast-paced, and I like it, and that goes along with the time to kill, which a lot of people did have issues with, but quite frankly, I love the time to kill. I think it's perfect. I think it's the best I've ever seen in any Call of Duty game, and I've played all of them since Call of Duty 3. Time to kill in this game is amazing. People were saying it's too fast. I think it's perfect. I think it works very well. I noticed a ton of people saying that if you got shot at first by somebody else, you had no chance of countering them, and that's false. Unless they changed that from the initial reveal, which I don't think they did. I've had so many instances where I've been able to counter people who shot at me first, or vice versa. So I don't understand what the argument there is. I legitimately think this is perfect. The time to kill in this game is amazing. The next thing I want to talk about is the weapons, one of the most important things. Now, I don't want to give too much of a review on the weapons because I'm more of a submachine gun focused player. I typically only use submachine guns. If not, every once in a while I will use an assault rifle, but really I just use submachine guns, and I'm not going to speak for any of the other guns, but submachine guns in the game I like a lot. My favorites actually being the Cordite and the GKS. I love the guns, and obviously, like I said before, the game is fast paced, so submachine guns I think are going to be the king again. I know they were very good in Black Ops 3 and they were basically dominant, but I feel like submachine guns will be the king again. Obviously this is just a beta, this is all subject to change, and it probably will most likely. I think the GKS is a tad bit overpowered along with the Cordite. They're very good weapons, I love using them. Maybe that's just me saying that because I've only really used submachine guns in Call of Duty, so I could think they're overpowered when they're not, but I feel like they're just a little bit overpowered, especially the, like I said, GKS. From what I've heard though, I do know that people are enjoying the assault rifles, especially the KN-44, or actually the 57, and the ICR. People are saying that they're enjoying them. I use the KN-44 for a little bit. Not a fan, but like I said, I'm a submachine gun player. Anyways, now we're going to start looking at some of the more negative things. Now, the negative things I'm going to list aren't nearly as major as some of the positive things, but I'm really hoping these things get fixed in the final game. So probably the biggest thing I would like to talk about are the score streaks that I'm not too big of a fan of. I think they are very kind of underpowered and they're not that good. I mean, I'm perfectly fine without going for any kill streak. The UAV in particular, I feel, is very underpowered. It barely stays. It will stay for like 10-15 seconds, it feels like. The UAV is one of the most underpowered kill streaks probably in this beta. It's very ineffective, and it's pretty much pointless to have because it barely stays up and the scans are very slow. But other than the UAV, really just in general, I feel like the kill streaks are just boring. Like, there's not many of them, first of all, but like I said, this is a beta. I'm sure there's going to be more added. We saw this with Black Ops 3, but at least the current ones we have, they're just kind of boring. Like, they're not really game changing. Even a gunship, yeah, it can get quite a few kills, but it's just the real core focus is just on the ground, you know, shooting with your normal gun. The kill streaks don't play too big of a role, which I guess could be a good thing in some ways, but I wish that there was more of a determination and dedication for people to actually go for kill streaks. This next thing I want to talk about isn't necessarily a gameplay thing, but it is very annoying, and I think it is ridiculous, and I don't know who thought this would be a good idea, but it is the actual inter-game intermission lobby. It is ridiculous. It takes so long to start a game, not even to vote. Take out voting, which already takes long enough as is. It takes 90 seconds to start a game. Once a map is voted on, it takes 1 minute and 30 seconds to start another game. That is ridiculous, especially considering the fact if someone leaves the lobby and the teams become imbalanced, you're sitting there obviously not doing anything, but then when they do become balanced again, you have to wait the 90 seconds again. So getting actually into a game is seriously a pain, and I really don't understand why they thought 90 seconds to start a game is a good idea. Like, I don't understand. It is way too long. Way too long. That is just crazy. I mean, maybe it's a glitch or something, but I just think that is ridiculous. It takes very long to even just get into a game. I am really hoping, out of everything I'm talking about on this negative side of things, I am really hoping that this gets fixed. Anyways, overall, I do think that Black Ops 4 is going to be fun, and you know, honestly, I'm kind of shocked. I'm pretty good at it. I didn't really play much World War II. I kind of stopped after a couple of months like a lot of people, but still, I really was getting first place in almost every lobby I was in, and I'm kind of shocked, honestly. Maybe this is just like a Halo 4 thing where I played Halo 4 and I was just really good at the game. Like, I didn't understand why. I didn't even play much of it, but I always did so well in Halo 4. It's just the same situation here. So, I mean, hey, you're going to be seeing hopefully some good gameplays for me when I do get fully adapted to this game. But in the meantime, guys, Black Ops 4 is definitely looking bright. Just a few things they want to fix up, but I feel like it could be a very good Call of Duty. It feels a lot like Black Ops 2, kind of remastered and then merged a little bit with Black Ops 3. That's exactly what it feels like. If you liked Black Ops 2, I'm sure you can find some fun in this game. Now, I just want to say this. My favorite specialist has to be Recon. When I first saw the multiplayer reveal trailer, I already knew this was going to be my favorite. But boy, oh boy, I really underestimated it. I love it so much more than I thought I would. I'm not even saying Recon's overpowered, but just the style of play and the specialist abilities Recon gets, that is just my play style. Like back on Black Ops 3, I always played as Spectre with the thermal vision. I would always play it. I just loved it. I thought it was so fun. And Recon's pretty much the same thing, and then I think it's even better. I really do enjoy the scans that Recon does. Very nice. I just love how it marks up. I just love it, man. I just love the reconnaissance part of the game. I really feel like in a lot of Call of Duty titles, Recon is really overlooked, so I'm happy that we have a whole specialist dedicated to it. I mean, Spectre, obviously, he was a good specialist, but, you know, he only had that one thing that people would use for Recon, and really most people would use his claws. So I don't know, I just wanted to point that out before we ended this video. But yeah, anyways guys, that's gonna be about it for this video. I really hope you got some information out of this video. Keep in mind, these are my opinions. I'm sure people are gonna have differing opinions on a lot of the stuff I talked about, but anyways, like I said, guys, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you have post notifications turned on so you can get notified of when I do upload new videos. And we got some banger videos coming. So guys, stay subscribed, stay sexy, and peace.
15 hours on this flight, man. Told the pilot ain't no flight plans. Can't believe whatever I'm saying. And they know whenever I land. Yeah.